What's up, YouTube? It's Hector from Not to Nerdy. Welcome back to my garage/yard sale video game pickups. Now, just in case you guys are wondering why I'm wearing the same clothes as I did for the weekly vlog, in case you missed it, I'm at E3 at the moment, so this was recorded the same day, obviously. So, yeah, there's a lot of games I have to go over today. As you see this, a lot of great pickups that I had, or at least I thought it was pretty good pickups. I barely spent any money, so that's always a great thing. And yeah, so let's get straight into this. Now, last week, the last video, if you guys remember, I showed you a box full of the NES. It had the console and it had a whole bunch of different games. I got that for 25 bucks. These two games were actually inside of it. There's two N64 games. The first one is WCW vs. NWO. Now, I completely forgot to add this in last week's video, but this was also in there. And I also had Star Wars Shadows of the Empire. So these are pretty good games and, you know, great condition. And hey, it was included in the $25 bundle, so I forgot to mention that to you guys. Now, this past weekend, or actually just Saturday, was where I live. There's actually a community like garage sale. So like they would literally give you like a map, and there's a whole bunch of houses that were part of the garage sale. So like everywhere had a garage sale. It was just amazing, you know, bouncing around from place to place, getting like a bunch of different deals. I actually stopped to this one place and I got two Sega Genesis games. Now unfortunately they're Sega Classic games, but the first one's Golden Axe in the box. Like I said, Sega Classic. And the game is there in perfect condition, no manual or anything, but the game is there in perfect condition, so I'll be looking for manual for that. The next one is also Sega Classic game, which is Streets of Rage. Now, that as well does not have a manual, but it does have the game in there, and it's in great condition. And both of these were $1 each, so for that price, I'm like, why not? I might as well pick that up. It's a great price. And it's very easy to talk to the people, you know, they're like, oh, you could just take it for $1 each, no problem. So I'm like, all right, great. So I took it. It's part of my collection now. What else? So after that, I went to, we're going to go over the PS2 games that I got from this one place. A bunch of PS2 games over here. All right, so first one that I got from this one house, I was talking to the lady. She's a very nice lady. You know, she said her son had a bunch of different games and stuff like that, so I went to go see what type of games he had. He had a bunch of PS2 games, so, you know, I'm always trying to add on to my PS2 collection, since we all know PlayStation 2 has a bunch of games, so, you know, there's always room for more games in the collection. First one that we're going to show is the Spider-Man 2. Now, at first, like, I just got 2 games from her, and then I went back later, because she said that she'll text me when, like, there's more games, because her husband was away and she left like a whole bunch of games, and they're actually taped together in her car, but she did end up calling me back. So right now I'm just going to show you the first 2 games I got from her. Is like I said, Spider-Man for PlayStation 2. This is not the good one, but I mean, it's, you know, it's a Spider-Man game. I figured I might as well get it. It is complete, you know, and like this looks good. I also got Grand Theft Auto 3. Now this company is a pretty good company, so just to let you guys know, throwing that out there. But I already had a Grand Theft Auto game, but like I actually completely broke it not too long ago when I was playing Grand Theft Auto 3. Don't ask how, but the disc cracked, so I just got a brand new one. And, you know, it has everything in there. Everything's complete, even the poster, the map, everything that comes with it. Now, these 2 games were $3, and on top of it, she just said, here, take this too, for no apparent reason. She gave me a Frogger Adventures for it's a Game Boy Advance. Now, I mean, like I said last week, I don't collect Game Boy Advance games, but it is a free one, so I'm like, whatever, I'll take it too. And all this was just $3, so it's not a bad price at all. So I took it. But like I said, later on, she did call me and said, hey, you know what, my husband came back. I found all the games and stuff like that. So this is what I got. Now, all of these were $1 each, so which is really good, and I actually talked her down even more. So, you know, I always try to work them down, even if it's a good price. I know it's not the, you know, the best thing to do, but she's really nice, so she gave it to me. So there's 5 more games, and she gave them for me for $4. So we got Lego Star Wars. It is complete, so that's cool. Then we got Star Wars Battlefront. Now, both of these are greatest hits. Unfortunately, they're not like the regular ones are the greatest hit version. But this one, unfortunately, does not have the manual, which I was kind of disappointed about that. But, like I said, since I worked them down, like I think that, if I remember correctly, I think that's the way I worked it down. And so, well, this one doesn't have a manual, so is there any way you could drop it down to $4? And pretty much I got that one for free. Then we also have Tony Hawk Underground. Now, this one is complete, perfect condition over here, so I was really happy about that. I already have Tony Hawk Underground 2, which I think that was the best one, but, it's good to have the first one as well. Then I have Super Dragon Ball Z. Now, if we look in here, it's complete and everything. Everything's perfect condition. So that's another great pickup for me. I mean, I like all the Dragon Ball Z games. I mean, obviously they're not the best visually wise and like the best gameplay, but I just like, Dragon Ball Z and stuff like that. So I thought it'd be pretty cool to add this to my collection. So I'm really excited about that. And then this one right here is it's a Neo Geo game that they have for the PlayStation 2. It's like the arcade classic, and it's version 1. Now this one's pretty cool because it does include like certain games like Metal Slug and Samurai Showdown. There's all the SNK classics are in here, which is really cool. And it's volume 1, so I said why not. And all these, like I said, were only $1 each, but I worked it down to $4 for 5 games, so you can't really beat the prices there. Now, the next thing, I went to another house, and they actually had a bunch of PlayStation 1 games. So, as someone turns on the lawnmower in the back, sorry for the noise outside, but I really can't control that right now. But hopefully it's not too annoying, but someone's cutting the grass all of a sudden. But anyway, we got Twisted Metal 2 for the PlayStation. Now, it's complete. Everything's good in here. Everything looks perfect. This is really nice disc, really nice everything. So I was really happy to add this to my collection. I already had the first Twisted Metal, and I definitely played all the games in the series, but I don't have them all. So it's good to have Twisted Metal 2 back in my collection. And then the next one, now unfortunately, as you can see, is just a disc only for Tekken 2. And I usually never buy disc only, but she gave me both like together pretty much. So it's Tekken 2 and also Tekken 3. Now, Tekken 3 is complete. Okay, so unfortunately, this is greatest hits for Tekken 3, but it is complete. Everything's in there, so that's cool. And I also have Tekken 2, like I just said. But all 3 of these games were only $2.50. She wanted $1 for each, but I said, hey, this is just a disc. Like I usually don't even collect them. I'll take it off your hands for 50 cents, and she gave it to me. So for $2.50, not bad. So I'm pretty excited about that. Moving on. I think we're almost done here. Actually, it's not as much games as I thought. I went over them pretty quickly. Now, the next one is, the next games I got was 360 games. I went to this one person's house. I think it's there's a bunch of Boy Scouts selling different games and stuff like that and different items. They're also selling tents and stuff like that, which is, I don't need a tent or anything, but I was like, oh, do you have any games? And next thing you know, he did have some games. So they're actually both Batman games. The first one's Lego Batman, the video game, but it's a dual game. It also has Pure in the back of it. So, I really don't like the dual disc ones that has like 2 different games. So if you look at it, it's complete though. So that's cool, but it has both games in there. They wanted $3 for this one and also $3 for the next one. So the next game was Batman Arkham City. Now, last week you saw me get Batman Arkham Asylum. So I figured since I got that last week, hey, why not just get the Batman Arkham City for 360 as well, complete the set. And it comes with everything inside of that. So like I said, this place actually had things labeled, which I don't like places that already have the prices labeled because I feel like it's harder to make a deal with them. But sometimes if you talk to them, they might cut you a break, especially if you get more than one game. So I said, would you do $4 for both of them? And they actually did do that for me. So there you go. I paid $4 for both of them as opposed to $6 for both of them. So just talk to the people. Sometimes you get a great deal. Sometimes they don't, but I know it's kind of hard when you see like a price tag on them already, which I don't like that. Once you see that, you're like, oh man, they already sat on those prices. But just try, maybe you might be able to work them down. All right, the final two games that I got, which I think are probably the best games that I got for a great price. We have Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. Now, this one for Xbox clearly, and we have Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2. Now, both of these games are really good games. You know, people still look for these games and still buy them on eBay, stuff like that. Obviously, I'm just collecting. I'm not reselling or anything like that. The first one, unfortunately, has no manual, so that sucks. But the second one does have a manual. It's complete. Everything's in perfect condition. It even has like the mill in order and all that stuff. So that's pretty cool. Now, this is another place that had them for price tags. They wanted $4 for each of them, and I literally talked them down just to $4 for both of them. I don't even remember how I said it, but they're like, okay, fine, because I guess like the spot that they were in my town, like a lot of people weren't going to their spots. And like, let me tell you, this person, right? They also sell things at like this flea market. So like they know what they're doing. They're used to selling all these games and like different things because they had like different statues and ornaments. They had like Star Wars like figures and stuff like that. I'm talking about Queen Amidala and stuff like that in box. They also had like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the van and stuff like that from like the 80s cartoons. They also had, man, they had He-Man, like action figures. They had everything in this station. Like they started picking up when I was there, but they said like throughout the whole day it wasn't as busy as normal because of where they're hitting. So they were willing to work with me. So like I said before, just talk with the people. You never know if they're willing to work with your prices and stuff. But for $4 to get both of these games, like in great condition, you can't ask for more. Like I really think this is the best pickups I had in this box, in my opinion. I mean, Streets of Rage is cool, Golden Axe is cool, but for me, like these two games are still sought after, and like I didn't have them in my collection, so it was nice to add them there. But man, what a great like collection that guy has of all the antique stuff, man. He has so many like different He-Man toys and stuff like that. And he also had a Fantastic Four like rare collector's item, but he wanted too much for that stuff. But I really don't buy statues and like action figures too much, so that's really not me at all. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Like that's a lot of stuff I went over. I did it pretty quickly, or as quickly as I could. So let me know what you guys think about this pickup, and if you guys picked up anything this during a garage sale or yard sale, let me know what you picked up in the comments down below. And that's pretty much it. So this is Hector from Not to Nerdy. I'm out. See you, YouTube.